Modest Lifestyle. Welcome back to the channel. If you're coming across this channel for the first time, you're welcome. My name is Modesta. Please do well to join the family if you haven't. My returning subscribers, the Modest Nation, I see you all. Thank you for your love and support. It's a collaboration video. Yes guys, today I will be collaborating with one of our sisters here on YouTube, Ada Inspiration. She's a Nigerian British YouTuber. Recently she relocated back to Nigeria and it wowed me because it has always been my wish to go back to my roots. I know what a lot of you guys will be thinking. I'm thinking the same thing. It's very scary because of the security issues, our economy, everything is sinking down. Like, thank you so much, Ada, for this opportunity to educate us on your transition back from the UK to Nigeria. I believe that this video might help someone out there. Maybe you are not even African. Maybe you are looking at, trying it somewhere else in Africa. Maybe you are looking at connecting to your roots. One of our sisters in the US reached out to me and she said that she really wants to, connect to the roots. She really wants to escape. That's how she put it, to connect to her roots. And I believe that this kind of video might inspire her. Without wasting much of your time, we're going to dive into the video. Yes, Ada, welcome to Modesta Lifestyle. Please, can you tell us who you are, your name, your channel? Tell us more about yourself.
Hello, thank you, Modesta. I'm super excited to be doing this collaboration with you. Before I start, I would like to introduce myself to you and give you a little background of myself. My name is Ada. Obviously, as you can see, I am Nigerian. I was born and brought up in Nigeria, finished my university education in Nigeria, got married and joined my husband in England because that was where he was based. I have lived in England for 15 years and my husband for 20 years. He was there before me. Together we have 4 lovely children, age 13, 11, 7 and almost 2. We recently relocated to Lagos, Nigeria, and we've been loving it so far.
The next question is, why Nigeria? Why now that a lot of Nigerians are relocating abroad? What inspired you to make this move?
I know your question. You're asking why Nigeria? Why move to Nigeria? I get that question almost every day. Especially now in Nigeria, people say your mates are going to abroad and you're coming back. Like, what is it in Nigeria that you're coming to see or get or enjoy? Anyway, so what I can say to this is that my circumstance in life may be different from theirs. So what they are going to look for, maybe I have found it, or maybe I have not, or maybe I just thought, okay, I have not found it over there, let me come to Nigeria and see if I can find it. So the situations are just different. So that is what I would say to that. For me and my family, it just feels good to do this now because this is something I've always wanted to do. Same with my husband. I think it was easier for us as a family, especially for me and my husband, because we're on the same page when it comes to retiring in Nigeria. Like I said before, my daughter is 13 years old and my son is 11, my third born is 7 and my last is almost 2. So the last time we traveled to Nigeria was in 2012, the second time was in 2015, and my children can hardly remember what happened in those travels, in those times that we were in Nigeria. Although Eda remembers things, like few things here and there, because she was 7 at the time we traveled. That was in 2015. So my children, obviously they were born in England. They are so British. I like it, don't get me wrong. So my husband and I believe that it is important to expose them to their Nigerian side, and hence we're in Nigeria, because coming to Nigeria means they will feel it, they will live it, and they will experience it to the fullest. So we just thought to do this. That's just one of the reasons. Another reason is that during the sea period, I don't want to say the word so I don't get flagged up, my husband lost his mom and dad, and we didn't travel. We're not able to travel because of what was happening in the world at the time. And in February of 2020, I found out I was pregnant and there was no way we could travel with everything going on. So now everything is settled and we can travel again. And with regards to the burial and other family traditions that are still outstanding to do, my husband was supposed to come to Nigeria anyways. So we just thought it would be a good time to come to Nigeria, meet with family, reunite with family, and just, spend some time with our loved ones, especially for my children. My parents are still alive, although they're aging, so we just feel this would be a good time for them to come and just bond with them. Although my children speak with them on the phone, I'm talking about my parents now. They speak with them on the phone via WhatsApp call and video calls and all that, but it's not the same. And they keep telling me most times when they come back from school, oh, Michael is going home with his nan today. Oh, he's spending the weekend at nan's today. Oh, mommy, when is grandma coming? Oh, mommy, when is grandpa coming? Oh, mommy, can we go to Nigeria? Oh, mommy, like it was getting too much. And whenever they say that, I feel so bad for them. So we just thought, okay, let's take this time out to visit Nigeria so they can spend time with my mom and dad while they're still alive, because if anything happens to them, I would not forgive myself. Another reason is it got to a point where I just asked myself, what next? 15 years in England, my husband almost 20 years. For those of you in the diaspora watching me, you will understand what I am talking about when it comes to work. We work our butt off. So it got to that stage where nothing really interests me anymore. I wake up in the morning, I check my emails, work emails, reply to messages. By the way, by the grace of God, my husband and I have an established business in England, so I don't really go to work like every day. I used to when I was running the place, but now we've got a manager and a deputy and staff that are working for us, so I don't really have to go in like I used to, especially after giving birth to my last baby. Basically what I'm trying to say is, by the grace of God, I don't have to wake up in the morning and rush off to work. I go in when I want to go in. So this actually made our transition a lot easier, because I didn't have to put in a holiday request and wait for its approval. We just wanted to do this, and yeah, we did it. It felt right to do it, because I'm no longer physically involved in the business, like going in and running the place. Somebody else is doing it for me, so I don't have to go in. I wake up, do the same thing every morning. So at some point, like I said before, it became boring. I know how scary this can be, but we took the plunge. We are here in Nigeria now, and so far we are enjoying it.
What is the cost of living in the UK compared to Nigeria?
They are definitely not the same. If you ask me, England is more expensive. Although we earn in pounds, we actually spend in pounds. So sometimes when people hear the minimum wage, especially people in Nigeria, they hear the minimum wage. Oh, the minimum wage is £9.50, and they calculate it. They bring their calculator, or they have the calculator in their head, and they do the calculation, and it's running into thousands of naira. And they tell themselves, oh my goodness, if I find myself here, I'm going to do, even if it is 10 hours shift I'm able to do, that's a lot of money. And in 1 year, I'll come back to Nigeria and build mansions, or send money home and build mansions and build mansions in all parts of the country. Yeah, don't get me wrong. We earn good money here, but at the same time, you have to realize that you spend the money in pounds too. You pay your bills in pounds, you do everything in pounds. If you were earning the money in pounds and spending in naira, maybe that would be a different case. But in terms of the cost of living, when it comes to food, like I said before, England is more expensive, especially when it comes to our Nigerian foods, because they are imported into the country. It is way more expensive than the English food. So if you want to go by that one alone, we spend so much on food. Although when you call the money in pounds, it doesn't sound a lot, but when you convert it to Nigerian currency, that's a lot of money. And I think that actually affects me when I came to Nigeria, because whenever I go to the market, the prices of things in the market, especially in Lagos, they are actually expensive comparing to how it used to be. So for instance, what you will get for £10 in England, you will spend less than that to get the same item in Nigeria. So those are the differences. So if you ask me to compare, I think England is more expensive. So I keep saying England because that was where I lived, although England is part of the UK. UK is made of 4 countries: Scotland, England, Wales, and Northern Ireland. So I live in England. So most times you hear me say England, I'm still talking about the UK. I understand many people don't really get it. Anyway, let's move on. To find out more, you can check my channel. I've got series of videos that you can watch. You will see my trip to the market, and you see me negotiating with the vendors there. That will give you an idea of the cost of things in the market as we speak. So when it comes to housing, It's a different thing altogether. I remember years ago when we got our mortgage for a 3 bedroom house. I remembered when I told my parents and my siblings, they were really happy and shouting, "Oh!" And when you like give them the details of the house, like how many rooms, the toilet, and everything, they just assume I live in a mansion. Comparing my house in England to the one I live currently in Lagos, they're like words and opposites. I'm talking with regards to the house price and the size of the house. Houses are very expensive in England compared to what you will get in Nigeria. The houses here in Nigeria are bigger, the rooms are bigger, like everything is big here, and the price is way less than what you will get it in England. So when it comes to housing, they're like two worlds apart. When it comes to schooling in England, most families send their children to state school or to a faith school or to even a private school. The private schools are where you pay school fees and it's expensive. The state schools are where you send your children. The government takes care of everything, including the faith school. My children attended a faith school, although now they get their funding from the government, but years ago it never used to be like that. Anyway, that's a different thing. But here in Nigeria, if you want your children to access good education, you have to send them to a private school. We have good state schools, but they are very few. Those of you that are Nigerians will testify. I would say years ago the standard was high, but recently, from what I've seen and heard, the state school in Nigeria is nothing to write home about. If you want your children to access good education, you may have to send them to a private school, and that is the difference between England and in Nigeria. In England, if you send your child to a state school, they don't pay anything. Even some families get extra help, but this will depend on their household income. They get extra. Take my family for instance. So I send my children to state school, and I'm supposed to be starting work by 8 or 9 o'clock. So it means I will get my children ready for them to go to school. But because I need to be at work for 8 o'clock, they need to be somewhere before 8 o'clock. So this is where before and after school comes to place. So before and after school is a childcare facility in England. They care for them before they go to school and they care for them after they close from school. When they close school, they go to the after school club and they stay there until, say for me, let's say I'm finishing by 5 o'clock, together by 6 o'clock. They will care for my children until 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, depending on when I finish. You are paying for those childcare. That is for the before school and after school. Don't forget you are paying in pounds. They need to be safe and well looked after for you to be able to work. I'm using my situation as an example now. Here in Nigeria, my children are going to a private school and it doesn't come cheap. It is our choice. We decided to send them to that school. For me, it's like I'm paying the same amount I will actually pay when they were in England going to before and after school. So definitely, so many levels, England is more expensive than Nigeria.
What was the transition from the UK down to Nigeria like? Was there any challenges? And what was the cost, especially moving with your children, settling down their school, and all the rest?
Yes, this whole transition is not cheap. At some point, I was like, huh, do we really have to do this? Like, it was really expensive to do.
To watch the complete interview where Ada answered the remaining questions I was asking her here, please head over to her channel, Ada Living Inspiration, to watch. And don't forget to tell her that you are coming from Modesta Lifestyle. Please, if you like what she's doing there, join her. She has amazing content about relocation from abroad to Nigeria. You will love her content, trust me. Yeah, if you watch till this moment, you know who you are. You are the real deal. Thank you so much. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you in my next one. Bye bye.